Libra, welcome to my channel. Let's see what's coming up for you, Libra, next couple weeks. So Libra, the story that I'm being shown here may have to do with your relationships, or it may have to do with your work. So let's talk about what we're seeing here. You've got a very serious person entering your world. We see him as an emperor. Usually in tarot cards, emperor comes through as a main character, main male for women, and very important figure for guys. It could also be that if you are a gentleman, that it shows you as you stepping into your power. The Emperor is a major arcana card, and it also stands for energy of Mars. Mars in Aries. Which means that you have some serious empowerment that's coming your way. Welcome to my channel, Libra. Nice to see you here again. Let's talk about what we see here coming up for you in the next couple of weeks. Let's talk about your job, your work. You probably are working in a very big company or somewhere where you've been for a while. You may have a very authoritative boss. And your job is not exactly, the most inspirational thing for you. It's something that you can do, but you are probably bored and you're probably holding on to it because it does give you stability and a pretty good chunk of money or whatever, but it's not really exciting, nor does it have any opportunities in the future. What we see happening here is you are somehow in the Nine of Swords. Perhaps there's some sort of realization about your work and the fact that you can't move and you don't have any opportunities. You're not moving forward. It may have to do with the fact that you feel unrealized potential and the fact that there is some sort of pressure that's putting you in a place of work in isolation. You don't feel appreciated. You don't feel like you may get extra perks or extra points with this team. Nothing really excites you here. And there will be an element of surprise and a little bit of an emotional upheaval. It may have something to do with a new opportunity that comes your way. Or there may be an idea that comes to you out of nowhere, which provides you with a more creative, a more exciting opportunity to be in a partnership. However, it may mean you have to start all over again, or use your experience to plan things in advance while there is some sort of chaos associated with your current position. So it may be that you are doing multiple things at the same time, and it may be challenging because you are not sure whether this new partnership will play out as it should, and therefore There may be a concern and self-doubt about how this new partnership may play out. You may choose not to say anything at work at the moment, or not to give you notice, and try to collaborate with this new opportunity while you are maintaining a stability at your previous job. This is how I see the situation happening here, especially with the Three of Pentacles being at the end of at the bottom of the deck, followed by the Two of Pentacles, Two of Wheels here, which means you will probably be juggling multiple things, and you're not going to be so sure about whether it's something that will pan out, or whether you can trust this other person that you're going into partnership with, or whether you can retain your position, maintain your position of power, and at the same time try new things. So it's almost like you do have some sort of element of a surprise coming up your way. However, it's either going to be too good to be true, or it's going to be hard to believe, and you will have self-doubt, and you may go into isolation or pull back and take some time to think about it. What's good about a card that fell out when we were doing the original spread, it was Nine of Cups, which indicates that there is going to be a fulfillment of some sort of wish associated with something that you're going to be worried about in the middle of the month. And it may have something to do with the eclipse that's going to be coming out in on 16th of May. It will be an emotional eclipse for all zodiac signs. There may be some sort of news that you hear that may not be so settling, and there may be a situation of a proposal or some sort of instigation of your talents, or this new opportunity, which will make you definitely think twice before moving forward, because it's going to be some sort of a risque proposition, and your experience will tell you that maybe not, maybe you don't want to do it, but at the same time you don't want to sabotage the new opportunity here. So in this situation, you may be dealing with a very influential person who is older than you, who is wiser than you, but he may be giving you some sort of ultimatums or challenging the position of your authority. So it may be a boss who is becoming very demanding on your time. It may be that this person is pressuring you or pressing you for some sort of projects or some sort of results that you know are not achievable, or you know that it's not something that we should be doing. There's going to be some sort of a disagreement with this Emperor. Once again, for love situation, let's look at love now. Emperor is usually a person. In tarot cards, Emperor is usually a symbol or representation of a very important person in your life. It could be your father, it could be your husband, it could be a male figure that's very important in your life, or a potential partner. As we can see with Four of Swords and Four of Wheels, you're feeling like this person may be exercising their power a little too much over you, or they're trying to control what you do and what you can and cannot do. This person may be withholding some sort of information, or they place your relationships on pause, on hold. There may be some sort of correspondence that comes your way, which really stirs up your feelings and makes you upset or angry with this person. In that case, the tarot suggests that you do sleep on it until the next morning maybe, so don't be too hasty to respond. You will have to choose your words wisely, because a lot of what you say in a year's time will be misrepresented, which will bring you more and more anxiety. There is definitely a communication problem between you and this person, and it seems like you may be on the verge of nervous breakdown here, because things will seem different between you two, or a lot of those things may be actually something that you go over and over again in your head. Meaning, this person may have said something that you misinterpreted, or the other way around. You said something that was misinterpreted, and then of course this person or you may have made some sort of conclusions that are not exactly true. I guess what I'm trying to get to, Libra, is the fact that not everything as it seems. Mercury is retrograde. In Western astrology, Mercury is retrograde in sign of Gemini, which is also an air sign just like yourself. So most air signs will be affected by this transit. Mostly in that respect that there will be a lot of things misrepresented or misconstrued. Meaning that a lot of things that you would come up in your head and create yourself a vicious cycle of going over and over and over and over certain situations or certain conversation will create a vicious cycle of anxiety for you, and a lot of it will be out of place. There's actually, so it's basically something that you shouldn't be worried about, but you sort of create this awful scenarios in your head which make you feel horrible and very emotional. So just keep that in mind, that this time it's coming up, and we don't want you to think of things that are actually not happening. So you may be putting in scenarios in your head and thinking that it's actually happening at this point. Most of it is because this person is not responding, or they're put you on hold, or they don't have time for you. They're holding back their emotions, and so this will keep rolling and rolling and rolling in your head until you're going to be ready to blow up. Now that you're aware of it, you may just, pinch yourself and say, hey, this is just the energy that will pass through, and here you would have to think twice before responding to your loved ones. There is a possibility of being misinterpreted, being excluded from some sort of team activities, being placed in isolation, or you will feel that way, and all overall just being misunderstood, right? So sort of sent into exile, which will create a certain level of depression or anxiety for you. But as it turns out, the universe works in interesting ways. You will probably come across some sort of an interesting idea, or you may get a surprise visit or a message from someone that you haven't heard in a while. It may or may not be this emperor that we're talking about, that we have in mind. But it's definitely going to be something that will give you a peace of mind, that will create some sort of ease and even a nice surprise. Page of Cups usually means a surprise, usually means a very positive outburst of energy, and sort of an excitement that something new is about to begin. So it looks like after a period of anxiety and withholding, there is progress, which leads you to Two of Cups. Two of Cups always talks about a person that you see eye to eye with. It's a person that you're not only see eye to eye, but also heart to heart. Someone who is very concerned about you, someone who does want to spend time with you, and someone who wants to figure out a way to move this relationship further. However, you may or may not have a very good experience with this person in the past. It may feel like it's a vicious cycle where you're going through the same sort of patterns over and over again. And you may question whether you want to continue this relationship or go through this scenario again, where this person shows up It's almost like when they're around, you feel very excited, but once they disappear, and then you are left wondering whether this person is even interested in you, because it's not abundantly clear. So that's what gives you anxiety here. So let's ask the question of what should you expect from this person. As I can see, the Three of Wheels was at the bottom of the deck, which means collaboration and excitement of learning something new. You finally see the potential because she's growing, so you're gonna start seeing some sort of positive movement either in your relationship or in your job situation here, after a period of some negative thinking. Let's put it this way. Just keep in mind that Nine of Cups always means wishes fulfilled, something that's going to make you super happy. Signs you may be dealing with that we have on the table here is an Aries or a Virgo. It may be a situation that's coming from last August, early September, or something that may have happened recently in the month of April that will start spinning out. It's almost like this situation was a stop and then go, stop and then go. And the anxiety you're going to be having is because there is a pause. So it's something is not clear. So let's see how this is going to get resolved. I'm going to pull out three more cards to see how this situation is going to be resolved. You're manifesting a new relationship, or you're manifesting a new partnership. And this is something that you've been waiting for a long time. So it's almost like you're ready to give up. The reason I say you're ready to give up is because we have a Four of Cups here and Three of Wands. Situation is about to change, but it's something that you waited for a long time, and at this point you're not even believing. You know what? You'll believe it when you'll see it. But as you can see, this is three major arcana that are coming out for you, that are explaining to you what's going to happen next. And this is why you're going to be pleasantly surprised. You're going to be so pleasantly surprised that it's going to put you in a moment of shock where you're going to take a step back and say, I need a moment to think about this. It could have something to do with an offer of a new job, or a new raise, or maybe somebody will offer you to take over certain leadership position. It kind of seems like you're going to be stunned to the point where you're going to have to pull back and think about it for a little bit, because it's going to be something major, something huge. If it has to do with a relationship, it may be a surprise that a person who offers you a relationship is not exactly the person you were thinking about. It could be also something that you manifested, but then you forgot about it, right? So it could be some sort of project that you've been waiting for, and you were hoping for it, and you were waiting for it, and then it never, nothing ever came out of it and you forgot about it. But meanwhile, things were pending and things were spinning. It looks like you're going to be getting your wish fulfillment and then some. As you can see, your creative projects may finally take off like a rocket. You also have the power, the resources, the knowledge to continue a project that you've started. Maybe you're going to open a startup. For example, you applied for a bank loan to start a new business and you haven't heard from them, in a few months. And you're like, oh, they forgot about me, or maybe it's not meant to be. And here suddenly you're going to have all these good news coming through, including a kickstart for the new beginning. Whether it's a relationship, because we do have a power couple here on the table, which is the Emperor and the Empress. We do have the Fool, which indicates a sudden movement, something that would require you to take a risk. For example, quit a job and start a new one, or quit a job and start your own business. Or perhaps this person that you've been waiting for will come to you with a proposal to move in together, or something a little bit more substantial than just let's go out on a date, which will surprise you and put you in the position of chaotic thoughts and overthinking. Something you need to remember, it is something that you've manifested, it is something that you've wanted, but it may be the timing of it is a little too late, right? But you still kind of want it. It's just that you already gave up on it based on the cards that are at the bottom of the deck. It's something that refused you before, or something that didn't pan out for you and you just kind of gave up on it. This situation may take a completely different turn. And at this time, you're going to have to come up with ways to comprehend this information, to adapt to it as quickly as you can, and at the same time, welcome this change into your life, work on it together with other specialists or professionals, or together with your partner, potential partner. There may have been a conflict or some sort of a stress or de-stress, I would say, which put you in a position of giving up, where you figured it's just not going to happen. And it seems, Libra, you're going to receive a very nice surprise towards the mid-month or towards the end of the month in May. So it may be something that you might want to prepare yourself and just be aware of this time in the middle where you're going to be overthinking things and coming up with scenarios that actually did not happen. So when it comes to that time, please be aware of it. Pinch yourself. Make sure that you live in reality. There will be a little bit of a negative spin on it, which unfortunately will be caused by a certain energy shift in the sky, and much likely not have anything to do with your person or with the situation that you're running into. If you do take a risk, take your time. You will have some time to think about it. If anybody is pressuring you to do something right now, it may be something that you need to question for your future. You do have a potential person coming into your life that's going to be a really good partner to you, whether in business or partner in crime, or in friendship. Partner in crime, of course, I don't mean in a real way, but it is a new beginning, and it's gonna catch you rather off guard. And it could be that from the moment of your loneliness and retreat, you become in the center of some sort of a situation. Someone is going to see this beautiful Empress in you a person who's very creative, who's very talented, someone who's very smart and beautiful, and someone is gonna go for it. So good news are coming, Libra, especially towards end of May, beginning of June. Please put a like, subscribe to the channel, let me know if this is something you'd like to see more of, and if you do like this tarot deck. This tarot deck is called Paradigma, and it will be coming out for sale on the internet in a few weeks. Right now it's not available for sale, but it is coming out. I appreciate you coming by here, Libra. Have a wonderful, wonderful month of May.